that to you. This is not the understanding. It's a gesture of appreciation. For example, like say, we appreciate somebody, like say like if there's anybody from physics background, you appreciate Albert Einstein. You see him as a role model. Likewise, we see the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as a role model for you to awaken your, say, the compassion and your wisdom. So finally, for one to be absolutely happy, to get rid of all your miseries and to have the maximum happiness. So we take them as a role model. Role model meaning that to learn from you. To learn from you, we need to have a sense of receptivity. We are open to learn from them, and to indicate the receptivity. You see that okay. Say I take you as a role model, and I'm very confident that I learn from you rather than that I go in the wrong direction. So therefore, this is meaning of the say seeking role model or being receptive. So as a gesture of that, then we give indications that I really want to learn from you. So this is known as a sense of respect, opening the receptivity to learn from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This is meaning of the prostrations. And prostrations, there are so many versions of prostrations. Say within Buddhism, like how the Chinese Buddhism, they prostrate, and how the Vietnamese, maybe it's much the same as the Chinese. And then the Indian Buddhists, or in India, there's a whole system of the prostrations, Tibetan Buddhism prostrations. There are so many versions, and which is correct. All are correct, and this retreat will learn how all are correct. It's all about your heart. So physical gesture, even folding your hand, just pressing your hands together in front of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, even that is also prostration. And then you lying down flat is also prostration. Any gesture, physical gesture, which expresses that I'm to learn from you, and then I'm receptive to learn from you. Any gesture to you show, that is the meaning of prostration. Now, how do you do the prostration? This next, how do you do the prostration? We see that there are many of us, what we are learning here is that it's not that, say, I'm going to teach you how the Tibetan tradition make the prostration. So it doesn't mean that what you have been doing is wrong. No, not at all. All versions are correct. As long as there's a sense of receptivity, wanting to learn from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, as long as it is there, all traditions are correct. Whatever tradition that you're following is perfectly correct. Okay. And then and those who already know how to make prostrations from your own tradition, in the mornings, every morning we come here to make prostrations. You can do it the way you do it in your own place. There's nothing wrong in it. It's just perfect. And then I'm just going to share with you how in the Tibetan tradition we do that. So in the Tibetan tradition, the idea is that what we do is that we press the two hands together and with the two thumbs inside and make it like a round shape, symbolic of the gem, gem or jewel. So from outside we see that there's a physical form there, physical form of the gem, and inside is hollow. And the outside, yet these two are the same thing. From inside is hollow, outside there's the gem. So what you see outside, that is known as the Buddha's form body of the Buddha, Rupakaya, form body of the Buddha. And inside we saw hollow, this is the Dharmakaya of the Buddha. Dharmakaya, which means the true nature of the Buddha, the Buddha's mind. So these two in combination, you remember that this is what I should be attaining. When I become a Buddha, I should attain the physical form, to benefit all the beings, and meanwhile, to be aware of one's true nature of one's mind. Then we put this hand, and then we wind the two thumbs together inside. Is for the reason that the say usually in the Tibetan tradition, say something, we don't really keep things as totally empty or vacuum. So to avoid this, the vacuum, we put the two thumbs inside so that it is not totally empty. Then this hand gesture, we touch it at the crown, 4 spots or 3 spots. 4 spots is crown, then the forehead, throat, and the heart. 4 spots. And the reason these 4 spots is, again, these are all very symbolic, and we need to know the meanings. For the all, when you become a Buddha, which means that when your seed of perfection within you, when that seed of perfection is activated, then you become a Buddha. It's not that only Buddhists can become a Buddha and others, they cannot become Buddha. This is not the idea. That anybody, everyone has a seed of perfection, whether you're Buddhist, non-Buddhist, whether male, female, everyone has the same potential. So this potential, when awakened fully, then your job is to give the maximum benefit to others and maximum benefit for yourself. And as for giving maximum benefit to others, your crown plays a very important role when you become Buddha. From your crown, you perform lots of the innumerable, the emanations, manifestations to benefit beings. So they are primarily done from your crown activation. Then the forehead, when you become a Buddha, again, you are to empower the other bodhisattvas to become Buddhas. So from when you empower, for example, like recently, His Holiness the Dalai Lama gave the empowerment of Avalokiteshvara. So likewise, when you become Buddha, you are to empower all the bodhisattvas to become Buddha as soon as possible, to benefit all the beings and to benefit themselves. So to empower them, all these empowerments are done through the Buddha's the forehead. So the Buddha's forehead play a very important role for empowering others to become Buddhas. And the throat, this is again, it says that of all the activities of the Buddhas, the activity of the Buddha's speech is supreme. This is so important because many people following religions, they have a feeling that, okay, by following Buddha, by following Jesus Christ, by following the Krishna, by following the Baha'u'llah or the Zoroastrian and so forth, we get some blessings. The real blessing is that you be able to manifest your true nature in mind. And how to manifest true nature? But remove the mental darkness, ignorance. Because the treasure is within us, each one of us. We already have it. We don't have to look for Buddha from outside. It's already within us. Only thing is the gold and the mud mixed. We don't see the gold. So what should we do? We don't have to look for the gold from outside. Remove the mud and the gold inside will manifest. So how to remove the mud? This is a job. The mud is the ignorance. How to remove the ignorance? By introducing the wisdom. So what is the wisdom? Wisdom which we cannot expect somebody to give the wisdom like this. It never happened, will never happen. Wisdom is taught. And how the wisdom is taught? Through the Buddha's speech. So Buddha's speech is the one which actually helps all the beings to the ultimate level. So Buddha's speech is so important. When you become a Buddha, your speech makes a whole difference to benefit all the beings in real terms. Buddha performed a lot of miracles. But it says that of all these miracles, the miracle of the speech is the supreme. Because even Buddha flies in the air, but we cannot fly. For only when the Buddha teaches you just how to remove your ignorance, then you think about it, and then your ignorance goes away. You learn from the Buddha, and then, for example, say you want to know quantum physics or relativity theory. What Einstein said means through the speech, what he spoke, what he wrote, you read them, you think about it, and then, yes, that's true. then your ignorance about relativity theory, quantum physics, they're all gone. Likewise, what the Buddha taught, you study this, reflect on this, meditate on this, then you see that your mental ignorance is gone. When this gone, then the mud which blocks the gold, that mud is removed. Then the gold becomes manifest, you become Buddha. So this is the most important deed of the Buddhas. That's the speech. Next is the heart, crown, forehead, throat, and the heart. And why this heart is so important? Because our mind, when you become a Buddha, your mind should become a Buddha. Your mind. And where does this mind, the ultimate, the main residence of the mind, the main residence, for example, so my main residence is in Delhi, but I'm here. So, see, which means that the heart, the mind, the main residence of the mind is at the heart spot. So this is the place where you are to become Buddha. So therefore, you're activating the main spot where the mind resides. So we touch the heart. So 4 spots, or you want to make 3 spots. That is crown or forehead. You choose one of the two. Then the heart, the throat, and the heart. Why 3 spots? Again, we need to know the reasons. Because that say when you become a Buddha, what you have now is you have the body, speech, and mind. You have the body. Actually, you have the body and the mind. And the body and the mind combine together, then your speech comes out. And your speech benefits the beings. So in total, what you have is body, speech, and you are made of body, speech, and mind. So when you become a Buddha, your body, speech, and mind should become Buddha. So the crown or the forehead, whichever you like, that resembles the symbolic of your body. And then the throat is your speech, and the heart is your mind, body, speech, mind. So when you touch these things, number one, it should be a reminder for us that when I become a Buddha, my body, speech, and mind should become a Buddha. And also that when you actually touch these places by knowing the significance and reason, then unintentionally, subconsciously, your mind is being activated. The mind, which helps us to purify your physical impurities, speech impurities, mental impurities, will be activated, because that all these 3 are driven by, for example, I'm using my hand. How come that my hand is moving? Because my mind is giving the instruction to the hand to move. So body, speech, mind, they're all moving because of the mind. So when we touch these, who is making you to touch? Your mind is making you to touch. Your mind is being activated. Mind to awaken these 3 spots is being activated. Okay, so this is one part. Now actually when we do the practice, according to Tibetan tradition, we touch the 4 spots, or the 4 spots. And then the important thing is that the 2 palms, the 2 knees down, and the 2 palms down, and then the forehead touch the floor. There are 5 spots. This one is the 5 spot, the prostrations. Touch that, and then get up. And then you see that there are many of them who already know how to do Tibetan prostrations. And then if you cannot do it properly, just look at how they're doing. So by example, this is the best way, easiest way to learn how to do that. And then meanwhile, I told you before that if you belong to any other tradition and you want to do the prostration from your own tradition point of view, like Vietnam, all Vietnamese, then you can do that. You can do that. There's nothing which is one is right, one is wrong. Everything is correct. One. The next is, if you want to do the prostration, to say the Tibetan version is you get up again, you kneel down, again you get up, kneel down. Because of these, the knees will be affected. Particularly when you do the prostration, sometimes people have made the prostrations for about like 100,000 times, making prostrations. And when you do that, your knees can be affected. And there's some people that no, we need to do purification. If knees are affected, it doesn't matter, purification happens. No. So your knees are affected, finish. You can, in future, you forget about prostrations. You can't even walk. So you cannot do the Dhamma so effectively. So we should be very realistic and don't be too naive. And some people, they may say, what is this? You are making, when making prostrations, you are making things so easy, comfortable, mattress down there. Put the mattress. Don't be naive. Let's not be naive. Dharma is not about knees. It's about your mind. So protect your knees. This is so, some people, some even senior people in the Tibetan Buddhism may say that what is it, purification is happening. If a little bit of physical, the injury happens, it's purification. No, once the knee is gone, it's gone. So it's going to be a huge problem for you. So make sure that your knees are protected. And then if you do for long, the full length prostration, there's also one tradition there. For the full length prostration, if it's just like 3 times, that's fine. But if you want to do for like 20, 30, 40 regularly, I would highly suggest you to have the cushion which would cover whole your body, at least till your chest is required, because you have the main organs inside, visceral organs, they can be badly affected by the floor. So wooden is much better. For the wooden, it is hard, the knees can be affected. Otherwise, it's fine. But if a bare floor, like a cement, is really bad for your internal organs. So while you are still healthy, making prostrations, make sure that your internal organs are protected. This is so important. Even if some very senior, the monks, nuns, they tell you like this, we should be very careful to your body, where your health is gone, everything's gone. So let us be very careful. Okay, so let's make prostrations, because that usually explaining the prostrations take little time. We'll do like maybe today 7 times prostration, and then from tomorrow we'll do for like 5 minutes prostrations. This one. The next is after prostrations, then we offer the lights. Offering lights where both sides, 2 sides. So what we split into 2 and make it quick, because the number of the participants is huge this time, and because of this, if it takes long time, then we have to shrink the time for your morning practice. So for that matter, make it a little quick. The why offering light. Again, this is very important. We need to know the reasons. If you don't know the reasons, then it can become a blind faith. And Buddhism, it must not be blind faith. Buddhism, it is where your analysis, your investigation, the reasons, significance, these are the beauties and the strengths of Buddhism. It doesn't mean that other religions are just blind faith. This is not a contradiction, but you should not be following blindly. Sometimes even the Buddhist the practices can become very blind faith. So this should be avoided. And what we're doing is that we try to learn all the significances. And in the course of our, the 1 week program, if you have any questions related to Buddhism, which you think that they are followed in your own countries, and then you see some element of blind faith there, feel free to bring this up, because that Buddhism should not be based on blind faith. It must be the Buddha said that the Buddha's teachings are the teachings of the transforming the mind. It's not about the body, it's not about the speech, it's about the transforming your mind. So for this mind transformation, it is only through, the cognitive transformation. Cognitive transformation, meaning that your thinking should be changed. How it should be changed? By giving reasons. So it must be very logical and logically consistent. So there's no room for blind faith. This is what we need to keep in mind. Now, what is light? Light, when there's a darkness, you cannot do anything. In dark, you cannot do anything. You don't see what's reality. So this, offering the light, is symbolic. Is symbolic of remove the darkness of ignorance. And whenever you make the offerings, although you're offering just one light, just keep in mind that I'm offering like millions, billions of lights to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So when in dark, if you're in dark for too long, like Scandinavian countries, maybe in Russia also, in some north of Russia, the winter is too long, and the winter, that dark, is too long, and when in the day, the dark's too long, then what happens? That your mind sinks down. So when the spring comes, then the daylight becomes longer, then your mind lifts up. So this has the significance, the light and what's going in your mind. This is the correlation there. So with this mind, when you offer the light, imagine that it's not just you doing it. Imagine that your two parents, all your family members, your children, and all the sentient beings are make the offering the lights to all bodhisattvas, and that too, like millions and trillions of lights are being offered to all the bodhisattvas. So this is what we should be doing. Okay, thank you. So we will do now 7 prostrations followed by the light offering. Okay.
Buddham saranam gacchami.
Buddham saranam gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Okay, before we actually proceed with the morning session, I'd like to quickly explain to you why the morning session is being done. And some of you may think that you may be expecting that, oh, this is Bodhichitta Retreat, we're going to meditate most of the time. To my surprise, to your surprise, and you may see that it's mostly teaching. And the actual meditation we do in the morning, and then from there, okay, don't come up with the presupposition or your own supposition that, oh, it's a retreat, so maybe a silent retreat, everybody quiet, and do meditation like hours and hours. Don't expect that. You're getting it? So you will see that it's going to be very different. And because it's very different, meaning that you're going to learn what exactly is meditation, how it helps. And then you find out what do we need. Don't think that meditation is ultimate. Ultimate is your awakening your seed of perfection. That you should. So people have, oh, I have so much stress. I have so much problems, so much stress. So what should I do? Meditate. You're getting it? Meditate, not for meditation, to remove your stress. Don't forget it, right? So eating food is to remove your hunger. If you eat food and the hunger is never removed, then the purpose is defeated. So we should never forget the difference between why you are doing meditation and what's meditation. So people mix up two things. They think that meditation is everything. Meditation is to help you accomplish what you want. Next question is, what do you want? I want to get away from all my stress, miseries, problems, and I would have the maximum happiness. Then later on, you come to know that to get the maximum happiness, you have to give the maximum happiness to others. Don't force. Don't start from there. You have to be kind. You have to give the maximum happiness to everyone else. Don't start from there. We should start from a very stable ground. So what we're doing here is mainly primarily we are learning. We are learning why meditation is required, how many kinds of meditation are there, and how these meditations help you to attain the desired goal. So this is what we're going to learn here. Okay, so with this in mind, that in this the 7-day program, oftentimes people after a 7-day program, they become interested, they find value in this teaching, and because of this, they ask as to how to sustain this practice, how to do this on a daily basis. So the morning practice, the first session, morning practice is primarily for that purpose. For us, how to learn, how to design your daily practice. And for the time being, since that you are not at all introduced to this concept at all, because of this, we just watch, observe, and you don't have to follow blindly. You're getting it? You don't follow blindly. Say the things that you don't understand, right? You want to do it, do it. You don't want to do, don't do it, but keep observing what is being done. And you don't have to do it. Later on, when you come to know the reasons, then you will say, okay, now I see the reason why this is being done. Then you can start doing it properly. Okay, so this is for this reason that we're doing. And today and tomorrow, I'll try to we will not complete the morning session for today and tomorrow, but from day after tomorrow, from day 3, the explanations will be much less, and then more about so what we're reading, reflecting, and then meditation. So these are the things happening more properly from day 3. Today and tomorrow, it'll involve the explanation also, because if not knowing the reason, then you read it. Some of us are from the traditions of, we already know, just keep reading, and then we think that we accumulated merit. I did my Dhamma practice, but this is extremely less effective. So if you know the meaning, effect is going to be so much. And later on, you're going to feel the effect. You will know that, okay, now I understand why the meaning needs to be understood. Without knowing the meaning, then what I do, no matter you do for like 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you remain the same person. So the purpose is defeated. Okay, so we have to know the reasons. We have to know the meanings. Okay. So with this in mind, let's turn to page 3. For the daily practice, it involves 3 things. One is refuge. Number 2 is bodhicitta. Number 3 is the purpose of the practice. So refuge meaning that we seek the help. We seek the help of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And why do we seek the help of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? In more detail, you will learn from our classes. So for the time being, refuge means the role model. Role model for for somebody to really be good in a particular discipline, we need to have a role model. And for us to follow this path to full awakening, where your fears are removed, where your happiness expands, we need a role model. And the best role model that we can think of are the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. So that is a refuge. So we think of the source of refuge, all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. We think of the Buddha Shakyamuni and all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And for us, for example, Tushita Center, many of you are not even born when this Tushita Center was first built. His Holiness the Dalai Lama blessed this, inspired, blessed, and then the Lama Yeshe and Lama Subarameshe, 2 of them started the center. So this is how, continues to, for the ages, for all these, the last 40, 50, 60 years, this center has been serving a great deal of service, benefit to the people, to be connected to the light of the wisdom, light of compassion, to know themselves, how to extract, give a meaning to your life. This is so blessed. So with this in mind, that the first, the enlightened person to bless and inspire the us here is His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who is right here. So we are very fortunate, and we visualize His Holiness also with us. Then alongside, say for example, like we have the 3 Vietnamese monks here, you have your own spiritual teachers, you can think of your teachers there. So all these enlightened beings who are your inspirations, for your compassion, for the wisdom, visualize them. Then the second one is the Bodhicitta, meaning that for whom are you doing this? Number one, for yourself, for your two parents, for your children, for your family members, and for all the sentient beings. Not only for few selected few, but for everyone. And some of you might have a little difficulty with your parents, right? Some of you may not agree with, okay, he said parents so important, but I have difficulty with my mom, I have difficulty with my dad, and so forth. There could be exceptions. This we're going to touch in more detail during the main part of the class. And so we are trying to revolutionize our thinking. Our thinking, which is so ordinary. For small reasons, we have conflicts, we have fights. Now we're going to revolutionize this, and then we'll see that even the most difficult people, they are the best of the benefactors. They are the ones to give you the greatest of the benefit, thus being the kindest, the overall, and thereby your compassion flows rather than anger flowing. So this is what we are learning. In other words, we think of all the sentient beings for whom you are generating this bodhicitta to become enlightened, to benefit them in the process, that you are benefited and others are benefited. Number 2. Number 3, what's the purpose of this? Why do we have to get up early and then sit together? Why doing this? There should be a purpose. Purpose is to awaken this potential within us. Potential for what? So potential, what is that potential? We should be able to identify that. We should be able to discover what that potential is. What do you want? What for have you come here? And what for have you joined universities, colleges, jobs, and doing your own personal business? So why you are doing all these things? So that I'll be happier, my life will be happier, my life will be less stressful, and so forth. So in other words, we are all same in desiring to get away from miseries and to embrace the maximum happiness. And can we do that? Yes, we can do that. This is what we're going to learn again. That we all have, whether you're a girl or male or third gender, whatever, we all have the same potential. We're all equal in having this potential, incredibly precious potential within each one of us. So this needs to be awakened. So what's the purpose of being together here? To do Dharma. This is to awaken this seed of perfection within us. It doesn't matter what religion that you're following, whether you're Buddhist, non-Buddhist, it doesn't matter. Whether male, female, it doesn't matter. Everyone has the seed of perfection. You have the right to awaken the seed of perfection, to stay away from miseries, to embrace the maximum happiness. You have the right to that. So our purpose here is whatever we're doing here for like 1.5 hours is to awaken the seed of perfection within us gradually. And don't they think that, oh, there must be some magic to awaken this seed, right? I want it right now. It will not happen. PhD, don't expect PhD to do overnight. PhD will take many years. You're getting it? And to become Buddha is even more complicated than becoming a PhD. PhD, you don't become a Buddha, but it'll take many years. Minimum, you reach like age. Some people with exceptional gift of intelligence, they become doctorate. They attain doctorate at the age of 20, 21, 20. But most people like 26, 27, 28, 29, it takes this amount of years to even to become a PhD in one subject. To become a PhD in all the subjects, which is Buddhahood, attaining Buddhahood, for no doubt it will take time. So we should be patient to awaken the seed of perfection. Okay, so that being the reason, so let us now take a few seconds to invoke refuge field, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly Buddha Shakyamuni, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that, and there, I'm sure that there are many of you who are also by the way, how many of you have met Lama Yeshe? Lama Yeshe meaning the previous one, the one here with a smaller photograph. is the teacher of Lama Suba Rinpoche? Seems like none. Is anyone who received teaching from Lama Suba Rinpoche? Okay, there are many, many. Good. So you can visualize His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Lama Yeshe being the teacher of Lama Suba Rinpoche. You can also visualize Lama Yeshe, Lama Suba Rinpoche. You visualize all these enlightened teachers. Okay, let's take a few seconds to visualize all the Bodhisattvas, particularly all these teachers. Next, also visualize your two grandparents, your children, all family members, and all human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, spirits, Gandharvas, on the planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire world, in the entire universe. Leaving none aside. And generate very strong desire that for all the sentient beings, I must become a Buddha to benefit all the beings. For that purpose, I'm going to do this morning practice. Okay, so when necessary, I'll explain to the explanation. And as I said earlier, for today and tomorrow, we'll just do a part of this. And from day to tomorrow, it's going to be complete practice. Okay, so let's turn to page 3. And through the great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views to you, the Buddha Gautama. I pay homage. Okay, just for information. For your information, this verse was composed by Arya Nagarjuna. Arya Nagarjuna, who was the 1st century AD great the Indian master, and in the world of Mahayana Buddhism, he is being respected as the second Buddha, Arya Nagarjuna. And the Arya Nagarjuna is saying praise to Buddha Shakyamuni. So in ways of compassion and of wisdom. So these are two wings for us. For a bird to cross the ocean of samsara, to cross the ocean, it requires two wings. So likewise, we need a wing of the compassion, we need a wing of the wisdom. We need both. By the way, tell me, which of the wing is more important, right wing or the left wing? Because usually people say, if there is one thing, right, the most important thing, tell me what. If of the two wings, if there's one thing which is most important, tell me which one, right or left? Right? This is, if somebody asks, tell me what is the one thing which is more important, which means that the person doesn't know the dependent origination. You're getting it? The reality is that there's no one wing which is more important. Without the right wing, left wing cannot fly. Oh no, so right wing is more important. Then without left, right wing cannot fly. It's only through dependent on these two things that the bird can fly. So both are equally important. You're getting it? There's no one thing which is more important. They're both equally important. Don't forget it. The two wings, what are they? Compassion and the wisdom. Compassion, in loose sense, we talk about compassion, but it's the finally we can learn today the compassion of the Bodhicitta. And what is Bodhicitta? This is what we're going to learn. The compassionate Bodhicitta and a wisdom to see the reality. So these two are the two wings required for us to cross the ocean of samsara, cross the ocean of miseries for yourself and for all the beings to be taken there to full awakening. Okay, so we'll say this the two more times. And through the great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through the great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Next, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So we'll recite that in Tibetan. The first verse on the same page, we'll recite that in Tibetan. And some of you may be interested to know the meaning of the Tibetan with some of the Tibetan words. So let me quickly explain this. Sangye is the Buddha. Sangye. Chö is Dharma. This is Tibetan. Sangye Chö. Tang is the and. Sangye Chö Tang. Tsok. Tsok is the assembly. Assembly or the collection. Ki is the linking word. Chok. Chok is supreme. Namla is to these. To the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Supreme Assembly. Sangha. Changjub is enlightenment. The second line. Changjub, enlightenment. Pardu is until enlightenment. Until Pardu. Dag is I. Ni is the linking word. Gyapsu chi. Gyapsu chi is go for refuge. So Tibetan the language works different from English. Said that I go for refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, I go for refuge. Just reverse. This is the language, how the language works differently. Third line. Dag is the self. Ki is the linking word. Jin is the generosity, giving. Sok is etc. Ki, linking word. Kipe. Kipa is done, did. Kipe. Tsoknamki, this is accumulation. Accumulation merit and so forth, which I did. Dola pen, do is sentient beings. Do is migrators or sentient beings. La is for. Penchir, to benefit. Penchir. Sangye, Buddha. Duba is accomplish, attain. Shok is may. May I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit the sentient beings. Okay, you got it? Shall I repeat it? Those who make notes, you need to repeat it? Not? No. Okay, we'll say it together then. Why I'm saying this why I'm trying to give the meaning is for you. When you read it, it makes some sense to you, and then you'll feel that you're part of in the Tibetan community, right? Sanye juda zoge jonam no chanju bado dane yabzo she dage jinso gebe sonam gi doga benjir sanye dubare sho sanye juda zoge jonam no chanju bado dane yabzo she dage jinso gebe sonam gi Tola benjire sanye dubare sho sanye joda zoge chonamla chanjo bardo dane yabzo che dage jinso gebe sonamgi Tola benjire sanye dubare sho. Okay, the next verse is, there's no way by which I can explain this here right now. This is very profound. And this somebody has to remind me to explain this later on. By the time we are almost on the verge to complete the retreat, like day 5 or day 6, before we complete the retreat, this meaning must be explained. I need some people to remind me. Raise hands to volunteer. One over there, your name? Arlish, Anish. Okay, Anish. Anyone else? We need 2 or 3 more. Again, 2, 3, your name? Svilana, okay. So this side, anyone? Okay, there. Chiskit Le. And then this girl there. Drishti. Okay, so, and one over there. Raise hand. Raise your name. Alex. Okay. How many you just raise hands? All those people who volunteered to remind me. Raise hands. hands higher so that people can identify you. Okay, good. Don't look around. And in case if you complete the retreat without explaining this, I'm not responsible, right? Those are this very responsible, they should remind me, right? Don't blame me, right? He left without explaining this, right? And he said it's very important, he didn't explain it. These 7 people are responsible, right? Okay. By the way, we say this together now, and then later on, when we actually come to know the meaning, already the words are very familiar to you, and then the meanings will give the perfect sense. We talk about how to get away from, how to remove all the mental dirt. This you'll see that is explained so perfectly crystal clear in this verse, but the meaning is so profound that it requires explanation. And the next few days. So usually in the monastic universities, they spend like, to really understand this verse, they spend like minimum 10, 20 years to understand this. And for us, it's not 10, 20 years, it's just 1 week. Not even 1 week, it's how many days? Huh? Just get, not 10 days, no. Huh? We have 10 days. Wow, Tushita is so ambitious. I thought it's just 7 days. Okay, usually everywhere is 7 days. How come Tushita 10 days? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it's 7 days, a very standard wherever I go. Okay, 10 days means we have the enough amount of time. We'll get something more the concrete. Good. Okay, so we'll say this together. Then it should not be on the 5th day. It should be on the 7th or 6th, the 7th or 8th day. 7th day, let's say 7th. Yeah. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification and complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes souls helping migrate to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue as expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teachers who guard and protect her to your administrations. The one who has eliminated the webbook conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chant the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, today I need to explain this, the meaning of this verse, the next mantra, essence of dependent origination mantra in Tibetan, Damdul 7Oct2023. This is the Tibetan, and this mantra is extremely precious. And when you say mantra, some of you may have heard about mantra, recite mantra. If you have the obstacle, recite mantra. You may get a feeling that recite mantra will do some magic to remove your obstacles. It's not like this. The mantras, they are, if you don't know the meaning, then we can become so naive to think that these are like magical spells, but they are not. In fact, these mantras, they're like a mirror for us. How many you use mirror every day? All of us. And what for you use mirror? To see what's wrong with me, right? So this mantra is to be used as mirror, to know whether what you're doing is actually good for yourself or not. It's like a mirror. And how is it like a mirror? It is a meaning there. You have to think about the meaning, and automatically it will make us become the self-reflexive, self-contemplative, to evaluate ourselves. This is extremely beneficial. Okay, so let's say the actual mantra begins from Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. Om, you like to recite it, or you don't like to recite it, it's fine, it's up to you. But the actual mantra, if you don't recite it, there's no the problem of you omitting a very important part. So the actual mantra has it, Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. So Om, you want to add it, don't worry. If you want to add it, Om, But by the way, we see that this syllable Om is what you find commonly in Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism. So what's the meaning of this Om? This syllable Om is consisted of 3 letters. So today is explaining what we're doing. And the Om is consisted of 3 letters. A, U, Ma, not A, O, Ma. And it should not be pronounced as it should be pronounced as Om. This is how the language works. And you may be wondering, why then? Why should it be U rather A, U, Ma, rather why not A, O, Ma? So, particularly those people from the English background say the CUP is what? Cup. PUT is put or put. English put, not put. You're getting it? CUP is cup. U is a. But PUT, U is not a. Is put. You're getting it? And don't ask me why. This is how English works. You're getting it? This is how the language works. So likewise, Om, A, U, Ma, it becomes Om, not You're getting it? Okay. So what is this? These 3 alphabets, which constitute the whole syllable Om. These 3, particularly the Sanskrit, and likewise, I'm sure the Pali also. The Sanskrit, the language is extremely beautiful, and it's a deep meaning there. It has a philosophical meaning there, psychological meaning there, extremely important. So, say that finally, what we discussed this morning is that finally, I should be freed from miseries, and I should have the maximum happiness. This is what I'm seeking. So, meanwhile, some of you may think that no, this is Mahayana Buddhism is talking about I all the time, right? And gradually, we have to start from this I. We have to start from this I. Why? Why? Some of you may be wondering, why, right? Why not start from others? How many of you seriously think about raise hands? Mahayana should be from others. Why should I raise hands? Okay, yes, and Tanya, and over there, and Alexei. Okay, so why from others? Why not from others? Why start from I? Right? This Mahayana Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism meaning Mahan, the great. Think of all the beings. But he started by saying, I will have them. My miseries will go away. I'll have the maximum happiness. Why? This is very important, and all these questions must be raised. Okay. The why. This question. How many of you are born? Day 1 you're born. How many of you must have cried? Day 1 you are born. How many of you must have cried? Resents? Okay. And you don't remember you cried. And you don't remember why you cried. Today if I ask you why you must have cried day 1 you were born, right? Why you cried? Did you cry for the other baby is not, please help the other baby, right? No one is attending to the other baby, or somebody slapped me, right? Somebody must have slapped you if you didn't cry to make you breathe. Yes? Somebody must have slapped you to make you breathe. You cry and you breathe. So when you cried, how did you cry? Or the other baby, please feed the other baby, right? Or I am hungry, I am thirsty, somebody slapped me, I have a pain there, this is how we're born. You're getting it? So we should be very realistic. So this is our nature, and we have to begin from how we took birth. We took birth with the I, sense of I. And because of this I, we're in samsara. You're getting it? Because of this, we're in miseries. Now we want to get away from miseries. So we start from the I and demolish the I. You're getting it? So if we don't start from the ground, we start from somewhere, you will never be able to build a house. To build a house, we have to start from the ground. So we start from the ground, the I, which is the ground, and then we will come to know that because of the brilliant intelligence, the wisdom shared by the great Nalanda masters, like Arya and so forth, we'll come to learn how to demolish this I and expand to all others. Then you will see the wonder, this is the real wonder. Then your thought of others become extremely solid and grounded, where your faith in the humanity, your faith in sentient beings will never disappear. Otherwise, if you start from others, and when you see that so many people, they are so nasty, they're so, they're ungrateful, and they're extremely rude, then you lose faith in your otherness, which means that you started without the ground. The ground is I. From there, we will start and demolish the I eventually to embrace others. This is the beauty of the Nalanda tradition for Mahayana. Okay. So now with this Om, the three syllables are Om. So finally, our job is to get rid of your miseries and to have the maximum happiness. What is the maximum happiness? The universal compassion. How to have the universal compassion? By embracing all others. Look, this is how. Start by I and then embracing others. We move there to that direction. So to do that is all about you have to become a Buddha. You have to become the enlightenment. When you speak of the Buddha, it doesn't mean that Buddhism. You're getting it? It doesn't mean Buddhism. Buddha is a Sanskrit word. It means full awakening. Awakening your potential. Awakening your potential. This is the meaning of the Buddha. So, you to become Buddha, anybody can become Buddha. Buddhist, non-Buddhist, males, female, third gender, anyone can be. Everybody has the potential to be awakened. You're getting it? So with this in mind, finally when you become awakened, when you become Buddha, it is your body, speech and mind should become a Buddha. So this A, U, Ma, these three syllables, they are symbolic. They're symbolic of your body, speech and mind. A, symbolic of your body. U, symbolic of your speech. Ma, symbolic of your mind. Body, speech and mind. So when you recite Om, you should be mindful of that I should transform my body, speech and mind, which are impure at the moment, that I should transform them into a very purified, ultimate, pure form of body, speech, mind of the Buddhas. That is when you become a Buddha. In other words, when you recite Om, remind yourself that my job is fun to become a Buddha. Om. Next question is how? How to become a Buddha? Then the next is Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. Ye Dharma. Ye Dharma means Ye is these. Dharma is phenomena. Dharma has several connotations. Dharma has several connotations. One is Dharma in the form of spiritual practice. Spiritual practice is also referred to as Dharma. Then another one is Dharma, meaning that the phenomena, what exists, they're also known as Dharma. Dharma does not always mean Buddha Dharma, Hindu Dharma, and so forth. Dharma has two contours. One is the spiritual practice, Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Christianity, Islam, and so forth. And the other one is your just existence. Any phenomenon is known as Dharma. So all these phenomena that we go through, experiences of happiness, experience of sadness, all these phenomena, Dharma Hetu is a cause, Prabhava, arise. These phenomena of happiness and miseries that we experience, they don't arise randomly, but they arise from their causes. The happiness and miseries, they arise from their causes. Hetu Prabhava. Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyavatat. Hetum is the plural form of the causes. So the miseries that we go through, these arise from the causes. And what these causes are, Hetum Tesham. Tesham is these. These, Tathagato. Tathagato means enlightenment, the Buddha. Tathagato, Hyavatat. Hyavatat is taught. What these causes are, the causes which give rise to our suffering, miseries, are taught by the Tathagata. Tesham Jayo. Tesham is these. Jayo is whatever. Whatever of these, referring to the causes, whatever of these causes of the miseries, Tesham Jayo Nirodha. Nirodha means cessation, stop. For example, say the light, when we offer the light. So the light continues to burn as long as the fuel is there, as long as the wax is there, oil is there. The moment the oil is not light. But when the oil is there, the light is there. When the oil finishes, light extinguishes. Right? So the oil is the cause of the light. When the cause is gone, the result is gone. So likewise, the miseries, they are like miseries are the results. Miseries which we don't like are the results. And these are caused by they are set of causes, emotional, destructive emotions within us. So these causes, how to stop these causes? Nirodha, cessation, stopping. How to stop these causes? If you stop the causes, then the result will automatically be stopped. So how to stop these causes is taught by the Desham Jayo Nirodha. Nirodha is cessation, stopping. Evam is thus. Vadi, again Vadi is taught. Thus taught Mahashramana. Maha is the great. Shramana is the saint or the seer. How to stop the cause of the miseries is thus taught by the great seer. Shramana, who is the great seer? All the enlightened beings. When you become a Buddha, you become the great seer. Shramana, Yeswaha. Yeswaha is established thus. This is established. This is a fact. Okay, with this in mind, let's recite this 3 times together. So there are many of us here who know how to say this with the melody, and those of us who are listening this for the first time, you just listen to us and join us. Say these 3 times together. So this is mirror for us. This is a mirror. Okay, the sadness I'm feeling is because of the cause of the miseries, and the depression that I go through, and the anxiety that I go through. This is all created by a set of causes. And these causes are taught by the Buddha. How to stop these causes is also taught by the Buddha so that my miseries will go away. So I have to do everything to stop these causes of miseries. In all my actions should be directed in this direction, and that I don't do the opposite. So it's like and to see whether I'm really doing that, how the Buddha taught, or not. So you recite the mantra and you will evaluate yourself. This is very helpful. This is a real magic. Okay, let's say this together 3 times. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. That means twice, 3 times. 3 times. Okay. So we recite the meaning of the mantra also there. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar of Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one good to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond our trends, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times of the obeisance. The four seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of aeons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them, is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With the folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, next, page 14. The praise to Shakyamuni Buddha, page 14. And again, as we recite this, what is required is that it says praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. Oftentimes, ordinary people, we have the feeling that if you praise the Buddha, if you praise the Jesus Christ, if you praise God, then they'll bless us. This is a wrong thinking. This is wrong thinking. It is from Buddhist point of view. So we praise the Buddha Shakyamuni, not that so the Buddha will be happy, you praise me, so I bless you. This is not the idea. It's very childish. So whether you praise the Buddha, you don't praise the Buddha, the mother, whether a small child praises the Buddha, praises the mother, or not praise the mother, mother continues to love you. So for the Buddha, there's no difference. But why do we praise the Buddha then, if there's no difference to the Buddha? It's not for Buddha, it's for you. So when you praise somebody, you praise the being with the identifying the qualities. That you're good in this, you're good in that, you're perfect in these qualities. And these qualities are so good. I want to learn from you. You identify the qualities. And these are composed by the enlightened beings. So you identify these good qualities and see if you have some of these qualities within you. If you do have these qualities, rejoice. And then see how to nurture them further. And if you see that you don't have these qualities, don't worry. You have the seeds. Apple seed is not apple. You have the apple seeds. You don't have the apples, don't worry. You have the apple seeds. Plant the apple seeds, the apples will grow. So you have the seeds, knowing that these are the qualities, and I don't have these qualities. I simply have the seeds. Now I must not waste these seeds. I have to germinate these seeds and have these qualities, so that one day I too will become a Buddha, that my miseries will go away, my happiness will be infinite for myself and for all my dear sentient beings. Okay, so with this in mind, let's recite the following. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the four destroyer, completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the complete and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O Supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you, O wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior, having great compassion, the founder of The field of merit with qualities like vast ocean. To you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is a teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through this merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, next is Heart Sutra, page 29. Heart Sutra, page 29. Okay, Heart Sutra, page 29. And how many of you have been to Rajgir? Rajgir? Okay, many of you have been there. And those who are not there, in future, just first see the preciousness of these teachings, Heart Sutra, and then you see the benefit of these teachings of Bodhicitta, the wisdom of emptiness, and so forth. And then later on, if you do get chance, opportunity to go there, you must be a visit there. There's a place where the Buddha Shakyamuni taught this sutra, Heart Sutra, and the Buddha taught many teachings there in Heart Sutra, the place there in Rajgir. It is quite close to Bodh Gaya. It's about I think by car, 2 or 3 hours there. And so this is, when we recite Heart Sutra, in the first place, Heart Sutra. Okay, say finally, the Buddha taught that to get rid of all the miseries, first of all, we need to identify the nature of the miseries. What is misery like? So the identified nature of misery, of course, we'll explore more in the course of the class. The Buddha taught that all the miseries somehow they boil down to ignorance. And to remove the ignorance, we need to cultivate the wisdom. And what is the wisdom? Wisdom is the mind which discerns the reality as it is. So the next question, what is the reality? For this, the reality is something which we have never seen thus far. We have never seen the reality. We create our own reality, which is not reality. That is ignorance. With this ignorance, then we continue to suffer. So, how to get away from this ignorance is by seeing the reality as it is, by removing all your superimpositions, by removing all your, say, the projections. So, for that, we need to revolutionize our thinking. How we think must be removed. We have to create a new set of thinking. So, for this, what the reality is taught under the main caption known as perfection of wisdom. Perfection of wisdom. Wisdom to see reality as it is. And from the perfection of wisdom, the Buddha taught on so many occasions, and in the Tibetan canons, we see that there are volumes and volumes and volumes of the teachings directly translated from the Sanskrit into Tibetan. And so from there, the Heart Sutra, what we're reading is just the essence of all these volumes and volumes of the teachings on the perfection of wisdom. So it's heart, the essence. So to really appreciate this Heart Sutra, we need to, of course, we need to know the background. The background has it that on the Vulture's Peak, or the Rajgir, Vulture's Peak, the Buddha presided over the gathering. And then on the two sides were Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. Bodhisattva of compassion. Okay, they should be right there on the wall there to the extreme right. Top extreme right is Avalokiteshvara with 4 arms, extreme right. Yes. 4-armed Avalokiteshvara, and there are also 2 arms. There are 1,000 arms are there. This is one version. So on the one side was Avalokiteshvara, and on the other side was Shariputra. Two of them were there. And then the Buddha went into samadhi. Samadhi meaning deep meditation on what we call as the emptiness. Deep meditation, emptiness. Then the Buddha, being a Buddha, having the direct access to the reality they believe in, as well as in the emptiness. Simultaneously, one emptiness experience, but also blessed Shariputra to ask question to Avalokiteshvara. Then Shariputra stood up, made prostration to Buddha, turned towards Avalokiteshvara and asked the question. Okay, this is the background. Now, for us to get the complete benefit of this recitation, finally, if you don't know the significance, there's no point in reading. So we should know the significance. We should know the reason. And then you see that your mind is actually growing. What do you mean by your mind is growing? That your mind becomes happier, happier, happier. Your mind becomes more and more calm. And then they say that, when you were age 10, the teenage, then you become adult in your 20s, then 30s, 40s, 50s. 50s, you find difficulty, little walking. Standing up is a little problematic. And 60s, you see that your body is declining. Then 60s, 70s, and then you start to miss your youth. You're getting it? You start to miss your youth. If that happens, that we have wasted our life. That is, from age 20, 30, 40, 50, you miss your youth? No way. I'm happier now. Which means that your happiness is growing with age. Your body declines, but your happiness keeps growing, becoming younger, younger, younger. That is indication that you are a wise person, that you have used your life meaningfully. So how to use the life meaningfully? This is taught here in Heart Sutra under 3 points. You're getting it? Under 3 points. Number 1. So as we recite, every time we recite the Heart Sutra, we make sure that you're mindful of these 3 points. Then the benefit of this is that it's not like every day you're growing in your. No, I cannot give you false hope. But year by year, if you're being very consistent with the kind of the studies that we're going to do here for the next 10 days, and then eventually you also practice what we studied as taught by the Buddha, as taught by Shariputra, and today we have His Holiness the Dalai Lama giving us a very broad picture of how we should lead a life, to give a meaning to your life in this life, the next life, for yourself, for all the other beings. We are very fortunate. So then we see that they gradually, if not day by day, month by month, for sure by year, you see that you become a happier, and happier person. If that happens, you are a wise person. For that matter, we need, every time we recite the Heart Sutra, we need to remember 3 points. Number 1, what is the question Shariputra asked to Avalokiteshvara at the blessing, through the blessings and inspiration of the Buddha Shakyamuni? What question did Shariputra ask Avalokiteshvara? Number 1. Number 2, what response Avalokiteshvara gave to Shariputra? Number 2. Number 3, and this dialogue is not just for the sake of dialogue, it's for the sake of us, for the sake of the people there, for the sake of the people to come in the future, like people to come after 2,500 years. Who are they? Who are these people? This Heart Sutra happened 2,500 years ago. And this was taught, this dialogue happened through the blessings of the Buddha, for the people there and for the people to come even after 2,500 years later. So who are those people who come after 2,500 years? Who are these people? Hey, we the people. You're getting it? So for us, this is written. So don't think that this is old time thing, outdated. For us, this is. And then see if it really is for us. You're getting it? If it's really for us. You study this and practice this, and if your happiness is growing, your tension is declining, your happiness is growing, this is actually for you, right? So this is how we have to check it. So number 2, what is the response given by Avalokiteshvara to Shariputra? Number 2. Number 3, the response is given for us, for all the people to come after that, like us. So if we practice as indicated, as taught by Avalokiteshvara, in response to the question asked by Shariputra, then what benefit we will get? What benefit we will get? 3 points. You're getting it? Number 1, what was the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 2, what is the response given by Avalokiteshvara to Shariputra? Number 3, what is the benefit? What benefit we will get if you practice as taught by Avalokiteshvara in response to the question asked by Shariputra? You getting it? Okay. So the first question, the first point to remember, what question did Shariputra ask Avalokiteshvara? The question is very simple. How should the child of a lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? How should the child of a lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? Who's the child of what do you mean by lineage? He has the lineage of the Buddhas in the past. In the past, wherever in the world, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, everywhere the kings, they govern the kingdoms. You agree? 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, the kings governed the world. And the small child, the son of the king, was considered so important. And why the son of the king is considered very important? Anyone? Anyone? Why the son of the king is considered very important those days? Why? Anyone? Eventually he will become the king. You're getting it? Who is more important, king or the Buddha? Hey, who is more important? When you become a Buddha, you can benefit all the sentient beings. King can benefit, if at all the king benefits, the king can benefit only the people in the kingdom. One king, small kingdom. But if you become a Buddha, you can benefit all the beings. So Buddha is sometimes referred to as the king of the kings, because he can benefit everyone. King can benefit only the small number of the people in his kingdom. So the lineage of the lineage, here's the lineage of the Buddhas, not the lineage of the kings. You getting it? So lineage of Buddha is more important than the lineage of kings. And if somebody asks you, are you the lineage of the kings? Most of us are not, including myself. But don't worry, we can become the lineage of the Buddhas. You're getting it? Anytime you say that, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. In other words, may I become perfect. May my seed of perfection manifest for the benefit of all beings. Automatically, you become the lineage holder of the Buddhas. You fall in the lineage of the Buddhas. You're getting it? That is the best of the lineage. It doesn't mean Buddhism. Again, reminder, right? Oh, it's Buddhism. No, it's not Buddhism. It's a lineage of Buddha means lineage of beings who have attained perfection. You can also attain perfection. Anybody can become the attain perfection. Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Jains, Jews, or the Sikhs, Baha'is, those following the Parsis, following the Zoroastrianism. Anybody can become Buddha. Anybody can become awakened. Okay. So, how should the child of the lineage practice professional wisdom? Child of the lineage meaning somebody who made the commitment that I will become perfect. I'll attain perfection for the benefit of all sentient beings. Next question is, how are you going to do that? This is the next question. How are you going to do that? For this, you have to practice the perfection of wisdom. How should practice this? Then Avalokiteshvara explained in great detail what that wisdom is. In great detail. So Heart Sutra primarily is the response given by Avalokiteshvara to Shariputra's question. After this, then the point number 3, the benefit. What benefit we get by practicing as taught by the Aravalokiteshvara. So Aravalokiteshvara indicated that if you practice this to see the world in a very different way, to see the world in its true form, your ignorance is gone and all your fears are gone, your anxiety gone. You become totally fearless and your happiness expands infinitely. And this is the only gateway by which all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future will traverse. Okay, we'll recite this together. Page 9. By being mindful of these 3 points. Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on the Masavaljas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara. How should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty. Emptiness is a form. Empty is no other than form. Form is also no other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness is empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object to touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on up to and including no mind element or no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance and so on up to and including no aging and death and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifest a complete awakening to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from their concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Aravalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you've indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara, those surrounding the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. Okay, this mantra, the meaning will be explained later. At the moment, I'm going to just give the literal meaning. The main meaning we have to study more, so it will come later in the class. And the literal meaning is Tatyata, or Tibetans read it as Dhyata. Sanskrit it is Tatyata. Tatyata means here is thus. So the summary of what is being taught is presented here in this just one single mantra. Om, again, this is just addition. You want to add it, add it. You don't want to add it, skip it. Gade, gade. Gade, gade is go, go. Paragade, go beyond. Parasangade, go utterly beyond. Bodhi Swaha, establish your full awakening. Same like somebody who is to do say PhD in physics. So first you have to finish your school, then finish your say the undergrad, then finish your masters, then PhD, then complete, right? Then you get the doctorate. So, even a complete doctorate, we see there are steps. There are steps. Likewise, to become Buddha, there are steps. There are 5 steps indicated. Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhi, Swaha. These are 5 steps I refer to as the 5 paths. 5 path. Path, the way. The 5 paths. Okay. So, what are these 5 paths? This will all be studied in this, so we have enough time. We'll study. Usually we have only 7 days for this retreat, so this time we have more days. We'll study these in more detail, the 5 paths and so forth. So literally, Tathayata is what? Here is thus. Here is thus, meaning that summary. How should you proceed your path? How should you proceed your life? How should you use your life? Gate, gate. Go, go. Go meaning don't stay in samsara, don't stay in misery, don't stay in imperfection, don't stay in ignorance. From ignorance, go away from ignorance, go. And the first step, reach there, don't stay there, go to the next step, go. Second, go. Then you reach there, no, don't stop, keep going. Paragate, go beyond. Go beyond to see the reality in its purest form. Paragate. Once you see the reality in its purest form, parasangate, go utterly beyond. So then bodhi swaha. With this, then all the mental impurities will be removed, ignorance will be removed completely, and then you attain your full awakening. Bodhi swaha. Establish your full awakening. Okay, we'll say this 7 times together with the melody. Most of the people here can know. I know that the Russians, I can see many of the Russian faces familiar to me. I can see that, and there are also others, my friends from a long time. So you also know how to recite this. And those who do not know how to recite it, listen to us and join us. Teta Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swadhyata 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 Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. By the teachings of 3 Supreme Jewels possessing power of the truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the whole 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all injuries be in accord with the Dharma, may auspices of perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, some of you may have wondered, why clapping, right? Some of you may have wondered, Okay, so those who wondered why clapping, you give me the answer. What is this? Those who wondered why clapping, right? Raise hands. Why clapping? Suddenly clapping. What is that? Raise hands. Okay, right? Those people who they wondered why clapping, you give me the answer. What is this? Huh? Huh? Peace. Okay, raise hands. Those who think, yeah, this is peace. No wars, no peace. Raise hands. This means of peace. Okay, then, okay, now I put 3 fingers, 3 peace. More peace now? Because the 3 is more. Now 3 peace. Why this is peace and this not peace? Why? Anyone? Anyone? Huh. Okay, reference point. Okay, this means peace. Victorian peace. Okay, then the 2 Victorian pieces. Okay, so what I'm saying is what he said, this is used as the reference point, meaning that it's a convention. You're getting it? Convention. It's a convention. Convention means that there's no reason why, what is this? Good or bad? Good or bad? And this means good. You're getting it? Okay. I say you go to the religious place, you put on the hat is good or put off the hat is good? Hey, tell me, you go to a religious place, put on the hat is good or remove the hat is good? It depends. You're getting it? It depends. You're getting it? Depends. But remember, depends. It's just a pure convention. You're getting it? Where they create the convention that if you don't put on the hat, this is disrespect. So you have to put on the hat. This has become the convention. Whereas in some places, you put on the hat, it's a sign of arrogance. Right? You don't put on the hat when you go to a religious place. If you put a hat, it's very bad. You don't put a hat, it's good. So it's just convention. You getting it? Clapping, not clapping, all just convention. Convention of what? To convey meaning. What is that meaning? Say in Tibet, clapping is a sign to ward off the evil forces. It's just a convention. You getting it? Okay. And then in this class, 10-day program, we're going to learn what's convention. You getting it? What is convention? Convention as opposed to, what's the opposite of convention? Anyone? What's the opposite of convention? No? Yes. Opposite of convention. Opposite convention. Ultimate. When people sing ultimate. You're getting it? Okay, when we learn it from DU? Okay. What's the opposite of convention? What do you think? What Venerable said is, Chiskit? Wow, that's smart. Convention, unconventional. Oh, you're very smart. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. Don't worry. Yes. Objective truth. Okay. From NMC. Very good. Very good. Okay. So we got 3 answers. This all are correct. All are correct. And don't worry, whether you like it or not, we're together for 10 days. Whether you like it or not, this is where we have to focus too much. What is the reality of convention? We see the opposite of that as so objective, as so ultimate, as so unconventional, right? And then we're glued to this and this ignorance, while everything is just convention. You getting it? If you know everything's conventional, you're released, right? You're released. Say if you want to religious, for example, in a Buddhist and the religious sites, usually in the Tibetan religious site, if you go there with the hats on, it's considered as the not good. In the Jewish, Christian, Hindus, Muslim, many of these places, if you don't put on the hat, is disrespect, right? So it's just purely convention. And they say, generally speaking, don't feel bad that No, if you know that this is a purely convention, you will not feel bad, you will not disrespectful, you will not feel disrespectful when a community, when do something which is unconventional, right? You just do what they expect you to do. That's it. Finish. Mentally, you be at rest. Then you will see that everything is purely convention, your mind will be released. This is this is freedom that we are seeking. Okay. The next is the 8 verses of mind training, page 35. We talked about the two wings, the wing of the compassion and the wing of the wisdom. Heart Sutra, which we recited, is in lieu of the wing of the wisdom. So now 8 verses of mind training is in lieu of the wing of the compassion. And the compassion, universal compassion. The same, what we do on the individual level, family level, community level, national level, international level, we think that we'll get the maximum by destroying others. Unfortunately, this is the mindset. This is the wrong mindset. You embrace others, your happiness expands, your miseries become less. You destroy others, is self-destruction. This is a reality that we can see around in the families, domestic violence, thinking that you'll get the maximum happiness if I destroy. This is the problematic person in the family. If I destroy this person, create a problem on this, I'll be happy. No. You destroy others, you become extremely unhappy. You destroy other countries, you become unhappy. You destroy other communities, you become unhappy. So these are all mutually dependent. We have to realize this. Okay. So finally, the secret of the happiness is universal compassion. And don't believe it. Don't just believe in this. You must be convinced of this. How? This is what you're going to study. How? You're getting it? Don't just believe in these things. Some people say, oh, be compassionate. If you're not compassionate, you will not be happy. You're miserable because of self-centered attitude. And how? No explanation. How? No explanation. So this is what you're going to learn. How? All these questions must be addressed. Now, to say to cultivate this universal compassion, there are two things to be done. One, to get rid of the non-conducive factors for the universal compassion. What hinders the universal compassion? Remove these non-conducive factors. And meanwhile, cultivate the conducive factors. Our job is twofold. So, here, what do you think is the non-conducive factors for compassion to grow? What stops us from compassion to grow? Anyone? In other words, what is the opposite of compassion? Huh? Ego, hatred, anger, ignorance. Okay, so we see that immediate cause is the anger, hostility. And what else? What do you say? Anger, hostility, ego. And then the root is the ignorance, is the root. Okay, so here it teaches us how to get rid of the ego, how to get rid of the anger, how to get rid of hatred, how to get rid of these. Even these hatred, anger, ego, they arise by dependence on factors. So how to get rid of these factors so that your ego, anger, and hatred subsides, and then it leaves room for your compassion to grow. Automatically, your compassion grows as these negative forces subside. Your compassion grows. So this is one thing being taught here. And then finally, as the gentleman over there, your name? Ofe. As Ofe said, ignorance. So the last verse will teach us how to employ the wisdom to get away from the hatred, anger, and so forth, and with the wisdom to how to embrace all the beings with love and affection. Okay, we'll say this together. This is not difficult. And oftentimes, if you fail to understand this, people read this and they think Buddhism is so self-denial. Buddhism is so self-denial, it accepts defeat, gives victory to others, it's so self. No, these are deliberately techniques by which to stop our anger, stop our ego, to subside the ego. As your ego and anger subsides, then you become loving and affectionate towards all beings. As your love and affection grows, automatically you become extremely calm, peaceful, and happy person, profoundly happy person. Okay, let's read this together. 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Tangpa. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, behold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped, on whom I have placed great hopes, mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled, but as stains of aid maintain concerns, and may I recognize in all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds systemized, blinded, and ignorance. Okay, so before we do instead of doing the remaining part, we will do the meditation, a short meditation. And for this, I'm going to give the instruction here. I'm pretty sure that some of you who are not at all exposed to meditation, and so for you, I'm giving this instruction, and then after giving instruction, before we actually do the meditation, we will do the mandal offering, short mandal offering on page 40. Okay, so before the mandal offering, what is this meditation? Okay, the meditation. In the first place, meditation means habituating in a virtuous object. Habituating, you practice a virtuous object over and over again. This is known as meditation. And meditation, there are 2 kinds. One is single-pointed meditation, and the other one is analytical meditation. 2 meditations. And why 2 meditations? I never heard about these things. Some of you may think like this. Don't worry, we are learning here. And why do we need the 2 meditations? For example, say, by the way, how many of you have the problem in the winter? Now the winter is coming. In the winter, the night is dark, cold, wet, sad. Raise hands. In the winter, it's, cold, sad, very quiet outside, right? Okay, raise hands. The winter, long winter, I don't really like it. Okay. Saying, and one of the windows, you want to read a book, and suddenly there's a power cut. Now even the light is also gone. Artificial light is also gone. And your mind sinks, right? So what do you do? You, Buddha, please give me light. Remove the darkness. Would you say this? Oh, Buddha, please remove the darkness. I don't like the darkness. If the Buddha is nearby you, Buddha would be very sad. What a hopeless student. Right? Whereas if you light a candle, Buddha will be very happy. She's a smart student. You're getting it? So just do what you can do. What you cannot do, you can request the Buddha. What you can do, do it yourself. Right? Light a candle. Right? That you can do. Don't let the Buddha light a candle for you. Right? Buddha, please remove the darkness. Don't say that. Light a candle. Okay. So the candle is for what? To remove the darkness. The wisdom that we are to cultivate. To remove this darkness is only through lighting the candle, lighting a light, introducing light, that the darkness can be eradicated. In a like manner, to remove the darkness of your ignorance, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be got rid of. And this light of the wisdom should have two qualities. One, the brightness, the sharpness, the brightness. Say in dark, you light a candle and the candle light is so feeble, it's very tiny. Does it help you to read the books? No, it will not. So light must be extremely bright. How many agree with me, raise hands? Good. Light should be extremely bright. So this wisdom, we need to cultivate the wisdom in such a way that this wisdom becomes extremely sharp and bright, number one. Number two, even if the light is so bright, but from the corner of the room, if there's some wind blowing and the light is flickery, moving like this, again, does it help you to read the books? No, it'll strain your eyes, right? So what should we do? You make sure that the light is steady. So it should be very bright and the light should be steady. These are two qualities required. So this light is a metaphor. The real light is the light of the wisdom within you. This wisdom must be very bright and the wisdom must be very steady. These are two qualities. And how bright is your wisdom? How bright is the wisdom? Not too much at the moment. And how steady is your wisdom? Not too much, so flickery, right? So when will he stop talking now? Right? So our breakfast, when is the breakfast? Your mind moves here and there. You're getting it? So it's not steady. So our wisdom that we cultivate should have two qualities. One is that it should be extremely bright, sharp, and to see the reality very clearly, and it should be extremely steady. You're getting it? Okay. So the 10 days we're going to spend is mostly to sharpen our intelligence. Sharpen the intelligence, how to build the wing of the wisdom, how to build the wing of the compassion through sharpening your intelligence. Meanwhile, we also need to build our stability, steadiness of the mind, steadiness of wisdom. For what you're doing here is to build the steadiness of the wisdom. For that matter, this is known as the single-pointed meditation, and the other one is known as the analytical meditation. So, the single-point meditation, technically speaking, is also known as shamatha meditation. Shamatha meditation, and the other one is known as the special insight meditation, special insight or vipassana meditation. But they don't mix the two things. Vipassana that you find so popular everywhere in the world, 10-day program, vipassana meditation, and vipassana that we are talking here, these two are different. These two are not one. You're getting it? People just confused with the words. These two are different. The 10-day vipassana course that you find everywhere, this is a extremely good practice. Extremely good practice. And if you did not do that, you learn to do it. Do it. It's so good. It's so good. Meanwhile, keep in mind that there are so many nuances there. And in the course of our class, say the way necessary, where the topic becomes related, I may touch on these areas. Otherwise, the individuals, I would suggest that once you go into the Vipassana meditation, right? If you have some personal issues related to the meditation after 2 years, after 3 years, and so forth, you must address these issues. You're getting it? It's very important. Okay. So in other words, shamatha meditation primarily to build the steadiness of the mind, and the special insight meditation or the vipassana meditation in the context of the Nalanda tradition is primarily build the sharpness of the intelligence, sharpness. So whereas the vipassana that you find in the attendee program is primarily is more closely with the shamatha meditation. Okay, not so much analytical, it's more single-pointed meditation. Okay, so what we do here is a very simple shamatha meditation. And later on, then we may go into more sophisticated ones. For example, we go into first we do the breath, then we may go into the sensations, then we may go into the mind. Look, we go deeper, deeper, deeper. You're getting it? First we do the breath. Then we go to the sensations. Then we go to the mind, which is, say, the sensations and the breath. Sensations subtler. Then the sensation of the mind is subtler. After the mind, then you go to the emptiness of the mind, which is even more subtle than the mind. So every time we go deeper, 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 this is what we are learning. We're going to learn here in this attendee course. Okay. So, particularly for those people who are not at all exposed to meditation, I would highly suggest you, say that oftentimes when you start meditation, people ask you, are you meditating? Yes. How long do you meditate? 1 hour, 2 hours, right? So, if you meet with these people, is a clear indication that these people don't know what is meditation. 1 hour, 2 hours. Meditation is not like this. So meditation start with a very short duration, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, not like 1 hour, 2 hours. You getting it? Some people, they're too naive. Start with like, oh, I start meditation. And where did you learn from? I learned from YouTube. This is a disaster. You're getting this is a disaster. And for how long? I would meditate for 2 hours. And people see you like this. It's amazing. You are a great meditator. But actually your mind is distracted. You're not meditating. It's a self-deception. You're getting it? Self-deception. People who actually do the meditation, even within 2 minutes, even within 5 minutes, they could see that their mind is distracting. And 1 hour, 2 hours, easily you are distracted and you are not meditating. In a way, you are fooling yourself. Self-deception. Therefore, when you do the meditation is something that we need to keep in mind. Don't forget this. There are two possibilities. One is something is better than nothing. Other one is nothing is better than something. You're getting it? Meditation is not something is better than nothing. It should be the other way around. Meditation is nothing is better than something. If you want to meditate, learn how to meditate properly, do the meditation properly. If you don't know how to do meditation properly, don't do it. You're getting it? Don't do it so that later on when you start, you can start fresh and you can go. Otherwise, if you do it wrongly, then when you get a good teacher, what happens is first you have to undo whatever you did before. Then you have to start again. So this bad practice has to be undone. It will take time. And to undo the bad practice, it will take a lot of time, a lot of energy. You getting it? Okay. So it is like the house. Right from the beginning, you build a house, a very small house. And later on, oh no, I need a bigger house. This house is, it collapses with one rain shower, it collapses. And what do? Then you have to again tear it down, tear the house down. It'll take a lot of time. Instead, you build it properly right from the beginning. Okay, so what is required for a good meditation? 4 points. Number 1, body posture. Number 2, focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Let me repeat it. First, the body posture. Number 2, focal point. Focal point meaning, what are you going to meditate on? Number 3, what are the errors of meditation? What errors can you make? What mistakes can you make in meditation? Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Ready? Okay. First, the body posture. Body posture is also known as the seven-limb Vajrayana posture, Buddha Vajrayana posture. One is a cross-legged. Cross-legged, say the one, your left foot on your right leg, and then the right foot on your left leg. Left foot on your right leg, then the right foot on your left leg. This is the cross-legged posture. And why this is important is that if you learn how to sit in this position, it will keep you fresh, your mind fresh for a longer duration of time. This is extremely helpful. But if you cannot do that, but you have knee replacement surgery and so forth, don't try this. Don't try this. Be very careful. And if you are doing this for the first time, it can be a little painful. As I try it, once the pain comes, again, let it go, let free your legs. And once the pain is gone, again, bring it back. So this is how, and over time, gradually, you will see that this position is extremely comfortable. Extremely comfortable. Some people who meditate for daily, for a long period of time, then the moment they, even just sitting idly, they automatically they put the legs in the cross-leg position. Then number 2 is the backbone upright. Learn how to sit upright like this, right? Okay, there are 2 ways sitting like this and sitting like this. Never learn how to sit like this. So later on, you may have the spinal cord dislocation problem can happen if you keep sitting like this. So learn how to sit upright. And in meditation, this is so important, body upright. And with meditation, even don't lean against a support. Don't lean against a support. But whereas when you're not meditating, sit upright. But you can lean against support, but keep your body upright. Make it a habit. But if in meditation, don't lean against any support. But if you have backache problem, there's exception. There's always an exception. Okay. Then your head tilted forward a little bit. The next, eyes not closed. This is so important. Eyes not closed. Eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. Let me repeat it. Eyes not closed. Eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down. Keep it very naturally there. Don't strain your eyes. Right? Just keep it very naturally there, 45 degrees, and ignore. The tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in your mouth. Because accumulation of saliva is very disturbing to meditation. And lips and the teeth in the natural course. Breathe normally. Don't force your breath. Don't control your breath. Just breathe normally. Right hand on your left hand. The 2 thumbs joining, standing, forming triangle. Place the 2 hands on your lap in a restful state. And if you have knee problem, if you're sitting problem, you can sit on a chair. There's no problem. Okay. Whereas if you can sit like this and with a cross-legged position, that's good. But if you cannot, don't force yourself. You can sit in a most comfortable place. But the cushion should not be too soft. The cushion should not be too hard. It should be just right. If you look at His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness in his place, even during normal sitting, his cushion is not too hard, not too soft. It's very precise, where your mind can retain the freshness for a longer period of time. It's too hard, very quickly you will have the leg pains. If you're too soft, it'll make your mind instantly go into relaxed state. You will feel sleepy and drowsy. Okay, so this is your body posture. What is number 2? focal point. What are you going to meditate on? So today, okay, I'll finish this today. Is just count your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Total combined together is 1 cycle. Breathe in, breathe out, 1 cycle. You can, when you on your own, you can do 21 cycles in 1 session. But together, collectively, we can do it for more, like 5 minutes. 21 cycles is going to be like 1.5 minutes. But 5 minutes, for the younger ones, it'll be like 60 rounds of breath. And for a little older, like my age, will be like 80, 90. Because the older you get, your breath will become shorter. Younger, your breath is longer. You're getting it? Okay. So this is your on the focal point. Meanwhile, if you can, maybe the next 10 days you can try that. Multitasking. One, you count your breath. Number two, simultaneously, you visualize a tiny white dot, very small white dot like 2 mm or 3 mm in diameter between the nose and the upper lip. Okay, just visualize a tiny white dot there. Okay, just try this. Scratch the spot between your nose and the upper lip. Scratch it. Don't look at it. Just scratch it. Do you feel that? Do you feel it? Good. Now you scratch your back. Don't look at it. Scratch it. Do you feel it? Yes. What within you makes you feel that? Your body consciousness and your mental consciousness. When you say yes, it is your mental consciousness. Your mental consciousness is feeling it. So this visualization, your eye consciousness should not be looking at this. Your mental consciousness should be looking at it. You're getting it? Your mental consciousness should create this white dot, mid nose and upper lip, and then keep visualizing it by employing your mental consciousness, not your eye consciousness. Your eye consciousness just 45 degrees and ignore. That's it. Meditation should be done by your mental consciousness, not by your eye consciousness. Don't forget it. This is the focal point. What is next? Point 3. What are the errors of meditation? Right? 2 errors. One is mental laxity, and the other one is mental excitement. Mental laxity means inactivity of your mind. When your mind becomes very slow, sleepy, sinking, lethargic, that is mental laxity, the heaviness of the mind, inactivity of the mind. Opposite of which is mental excitement. Mental excitement is the overactivity of your mind. The mind becomes overly active, getting scattered here and there. These are 2 problems. Should any of these 2 problems arise, no need to worry. Go for number 4. What's number 4? Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Remedies. Well, the remedy is twofold: introspection and mindfulness. What is introspection? Introspection is keeping an eye on your mind to see whether the mind is meditating or it is in a lax state or it is already distracted. And with the introspection, if you diagnose that your mind is distracted or in a lax state, apply mindfulness. Mindfulness is to bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Okay, if you cannot follow it too well, don't worry, but just quickly do 5 minutes meditation, and tomorrow I'll explain it more. You ready? 5 minutes meditation. Sing upon it. Breathing and white dot together. Let's try this. 5 minutes. Okay, we'll turn to direction prayer. Okay, before this, we will turn to page 44, maximum mantra, then we'll do the direction prayer. Page 44, maximum mantra. We'll say this together 3 times. And I'd like to explain this to you quickly. We're running late. And this mantra is in praise of Lama Tsongkhapa here, the main statue here, Lama Tsongkhapa. And the Lama Tsongkhapa was a 14th century enlightened Tibetan master, 14th century. And this praise was originally composed by himself to his teacher, not for himself. He composed this for his teacher. And then the teacher read this, where Lama Tsongkhapa praised his teacher by equating his teacher to the 3 enlightened activities or 3 enlightened mental qualities of the Buddha: perfect love, perfect knowledge, and a perfect power. Perfect love is symbolized by Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of compassion. Perfect knowledge symbolized by Manjushri, the Buddha of wisdom. And then perfect power, Vajrapani, the Buddha of power. So he equated his teacher, Jesun Rendawa Shinulutu, with these 3 Buddhas or the Bodhisattvas. And then the teacher read it and said that the teacher himself erased his name and replaced his student's name, saying that this praise fits better with you rather than me. And then it is being widely, it being so popularly said everywhere in Tibet. So we're going to say this because that in the history of Tibet, we see that there are a number of great literary giants, along with the being enlightened masters, also literary giants. One is the great saint, the Sakyapandita from Sakya tradition, and the Lama Tsongkhapa, and there are several of them. So this is the brief explanation about this mantra. We'll first read that in the English translation, followed by the chanting it in the Tibetan, all of us together. Okay, first in English. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Lobsangtrapa, at your feet and make prostrations. When I say this in Tibetan, just to accommodate in line with the melody, we skip the 3rd line, not for any other reason, just to accommodate the melody. Okay, we'll do the end-direction prayer, which is on page 52, the 3 verses. Page 52 in English, page 52. Okay, so what we did, we accumulated so much of merit, no doubt, with this morning practice, and the merit accumulation. What we dedication, the great Tibetan masters, they say the importance of 2 activities, 2 things, one at the beginning and one at the end. In the beginning, setting proper motivation, and at the end, dedicating merits properly. So we come to the end of this morning session. We dedicate number 1, we dedicate merits that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of joy, or true source of joy and happiness on this earth today. We pray that he lives long and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously. Particularly, just imagine, believe it or not, just imagine, it's a very simple task. Just imagine all the world leaders, they are like His Holiness the Dalai Lama. No wars, no border tensions. Everywhere is harmony. Everywhere is the giving hand to each other to support the world. Becomes all the billions of dollars people, the countries spend on the borders can be dedicated for the welfare of humanity, for education, for the charity, for health, for the development, and so forth. So this is where we really need to have the great enlightened masters, great leaders like His Holiness Dalai Lama to really live long, to set an example, to teach other leaders how to be good leaders for the world, for the people, citizens of the world, that they can live more meaningfully, that they can grow. So this is our prayer, number 1. And let's pray that all these great learning centers of different traditions, from Theravada Buddhism, from the Chinese Buddhism, the Vietnamese Buddhism, from all these Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism, and within Tibetan Buddhism, Sakya, Kaiku, Nyingma, Gelu, all these different traditions, they flourish in the activities of study, reflection, meditation of the Buddhists, the 2 main teachings, the universal compassion of Bodhicitta and the wisdom to see the reality as it is, supported by the single part meditation. Let's pray that all these learning centers, they thrive in the activity of study, reflection, meditation for the purpose of the dharma, that the world will benefit the maximum out of this. And may I personally dedicate merits thus gathered, that each one of you, through your concerted effort, that the next 10 days, and then eventually these 10 days as like for you to get a glimpse of what the teaching of the compassion is, glimpse of what the teaching of the wisdom is, that you continue with this, and eventually that you become a reliable guide through unconcerted effort, that each one of you become a reliable guide to lead all the dear mothers and sentient beings to a ultimate happiness. With this mind, let's recite the following verses together. I dedicate the merit thus gathered to trust realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the mind vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, Bodhicitta, perfectly went the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds are planet of ignorance. Hearts with the mantra. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. Okay, since that we are running a little late, we will have the next session at 9:20. 9:20. So the session will start at 9:20. 3 prostrations before we leave for breakfast.